of the flat plate collector. In detail, the thermodynamic analysis have been discussed in the previous classes. Today, we will see what are the different parameters which will affect the performance of a liquid flat plate collector. So there are four important category of parameters which affect the performance of the flat plate collector, namely design parameters, operational parameters, meteorological parameters, and environmental parameters. We will see the 7 important parameters among these 4 in detail in the coming slides. How the design of a liquid flat plate collector affect the performance on long run. Then operational parameters, so like the solar energy falling on it and the various parameters when it is in operation. Then meteorological parameters means the seasonal variation, the place of the location of placement of the FPC, etc. Then environmental parameters, depending on the wind, moisture, humidity of the location, how the performance will get affected. So performance in the sense the efficiency and the amount of useful heat gained by the fluid, how these will get affected by these parameters. That's what we are going to discuss today. So first one is selective surfaces. So you know that there are different components in a flat plate collector, namely the reflector, the glass surface or the transparent surface through which the solar radiation is falling into the collector, and it will get absorbed in the plate or component known as absorber plate, which is usually black in color or black painted. So high absorptivity and low emissivity surface is termed as a selective surface. A high absorptivity and low emissivity. We have seen in the previous classes that the absorber plate sometimes loses its absorbed heat through some convection or radiation, right? In order to prevent that, we have seen that we need to employ selective surfaces. So selective surface is defined as a surface or a coating with high absorptivity and low emissivity. So low emissivity is to prevent the re-radiative losses. So it was introduced in first selective surface was copper oxide. There was a coating of copper oxide on the absorber plate. In present time, cermets or metal dielectric composite coatings are employed as selective surface in flat plate collector absorber plates. So cermets consist of fine metal particles, very fine metal particles in a dielectric or ceramic matrix or a porous oxide impregnated with metal. That is the construction or feature of the cermet. That's how the cermets are formed. So coatings include, the cermet coating include nickel black, black chrome or nickel pigmented alumina. These are the 3 commonly employed selective surface under the cermets. So black chrome is the most successful and commonly used stable selective surface developed till date. Black chrome. It is being made by the process known as electroplating. Now in solar water heaters, the selective surfaces are produced by DC magnetron sputtering under the trade name of Turbosun, where the absorptivity you can see here 0.95. 0.95 is absorptivity and emissivity is very less, 0.05. So solar water heaters, you know that evacuated tubes, there are 2 kinds of solar water heaters, flat plate and evacuated tube collectors. So it have got a double layer. So evacuated solar water heaters with evacuated tubes have a double layer cermet coating of stainless steel aluminum nitride. That is a typically employed selective surface coating in evacuated tubes type of solar collectors, water heaters. So some spectrally selective paint coatings have also been commercially developed for low temperature applications. So in electromagnetic spectrum, certain wavelength radiations can alone be absorbed by such selective paint coatings. An excellent review on this selective solar surface coatings is given by this person Kennedy in 2002 in his technical report, namely review of mid to high temperature solar selective absorber materials. Second factor which affect the performance of a flat plate collector is number of glass covers employed. It has been observed that when the selective surface is employed along with a single glass cover on top, when selective surface on the absorber plus a single glass cover on top, the highest efficiency, thermal efficiency for the collector is obtained. On the other hand, when the selective surface is not employed, you may have to employ two glass covers to give the highest efficiency. So this number of covers and selective surface should be used in combination. If there is only a glass cover, selective surface must be used to get higher efficiency. If selective surface is not possible to employ, then you have to use two glass covers. So the effect is directly linked with that transmissivity absorptivity product, tau alpha. Then spacing between the third factor is the spacing between the glass and the absorber plate, and also the spacing between the adjacent glass covers if there are more than one glass cover employed. Then shading of the side walls, if the spacing is increased, if the spacing of the glass cover and the absorber plate is increased, what will happen? The side wall, shading of the side walls to the on top of the absorber plate will cause the radiation or the absorbed energy to get decreased. So with a 3 centimeter spacing, that is an optimum one, shading reduces the radiation absorbed by an amount of 3% only. If you allow a 3 centimeter spacing between the glass and the absorber plate, the absorbed radiation will get reduced by 3%. So the gain obtained by increase in spacing is offset by the reduction in radiation absorbed. If you increase the spacing between the glass cover and the absorber plate, in order to avoid losses, re-radiation losses from the absorber plate, that will get reduced or offsetted by the reduction in radiation absorbed by the shade effect. So optimum spacing of 2 to 3 centimeter is usually employed in almost all flat plate collectors. Also, in order to avoid the shading effect, side walls of inner surfaces are lined with reflecting surfaces in order to alleviate the shading effect. Fourth factor is the collector tilt angle beta. So tilt angle depends on the latitude, declination and solar radiation at a particular location. So based on the latitude, the tilt angle will be decided finally. So at what tilt the collector should be placed for northern hemisphere, it should be facing south side. Fifth factor is affecting the parameter is fluid inlet temperature, TFI or TI. The temperature at which the fluid is entering into the collector, the cold fluid entering the collector. So the collector as a whole operates at a higher temperature when the inlet temperature is high. That is obvious, right? When the inlet temperature is high, the collector will be operating at a very high temperature, and the temperature difference between the collector and the ambient will be high. The top loss coefficient increases. If the top loss coefficient increases, what will happen? The heat loss also will increase, and hence the useful heat gained will be decreasing. Now the sixth parameter affecting the performance is the transmissivity of the cover, glass cover. Higher the transmissivity, better the performance. The more amount of energy will be transmitted through the glass cover to the absorber plate. So higher transmissivity also means lower extinction coefficient. What is extinction coefficient? It is a complex part of the refractive index as given by this equation. Now last but not the least, factor affecting the performance is dust on the top cover. So correction factor is included to taken care of the accumulation of dust cover a period of time. In the analysis of flat plate collector, we need to use a correction factor to consider this dust on the top cover. So correction factor is a ratio of normal transmissivity of a dust laden cover to that of a clean cover. So this in turn depends on location, frequency of cleaning, tilt angle and material of cover, whether it is glass or some plastic. So in India, usually this can be used as correction factor 0.922 to 0.96 is a correction factor.